What's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking all about why I don't follow the curly girl method. If you have no idea what the curly girl method is, that is okay, because I didn't know what the curly girl method was until I started digging in on YouTube about how to take care of my curls. The curly girl method was started by Lorraine Massey, and she wrote this handbook, the Curly Girl Handbook. In this book, it's essentially a set of rules, things that you have to do, that you have to follow to revive your curls and to make them healthy and beautiful and all of these things. First off, the rules that they say you cannot do are brushing your hair. You cannot use sulfates, silicones, parabens, alcohols, or waxes in any of your products. You cannot use heat on your hair. You have to completely get rid of shampoo. Yes, you cannot use any kind of shampoo, only co-wash, which is essentially washing your hair with a conditioner. We'll touch on that in a little bit. And then lastly is you have to get regular trims on your hair to keep it healthy and growing and all that good stuff. So number one, brushing. You cannot brush your hair if you are doing the curly girl method. If you are following what Lorraine Massey says here in this book, she says just throw it out. Don't pick up a brush, don't pick up a pick or a comb, nothing. You can only finger detangle using your fingers. You can't detangle your hair with a brush, comb, nothing, only your fingers. I tried this when I was first going curly last year. I was really interested to see if I could actually finger detangle my hair. And guess what? I can't. I can kind of do it. I can get kind of like the base of the tangles out. But if I want a really good detangle, I have to use a brush and a ton of conditioner and a ton of water. So that's one thing that a lot of people say, you cannot brush your hair when it's wet. But if you have naturally curly hair, honestly, the best way to detangle your hair is to do it in the shower when it's wet with a ton of conditioner in it, so you get really good slip. And I will just say, if your hair is weak, it's going to break anyways, whether you do finger detangle or use a brush or a pick or a wide tooth comb. If your hair is weak, and it's just gonna break, and because you just gotta do some extra steps to take care of it and to strengthen it. So it doesn't matter if you are going to finger detangle your hair or not. If your hair is weak, it's just gonna break. So finger detangling really won't do much. It'll just cause you more stress. And I will say that with my long, thick hair, I don't have time to take an extra 20 minutes in the shower to stand there under the water, finger detangle, and then add more conditioner and then add more water and keep finger detangling and just repeat the process over and over and over. One, wasting conditioner. Two, you're wasting a whole bunch of water that you really don't have to waste. I use brushes all the time. And one thing that she also says in the book is you're going to completely brush out your curl pattern if you use a brush. Well, if it's dry and you brush your hair, you're gonna lose the definition because you're brushing your hair when it's dry. All curly girls know you don't brush your hair when it's dry. But if it's wet, you can get so much definition in your hair, which is what I have been doing when I've been styling my hair. And it helps distribute the product throughout your hair while you're styling as well. So you use less product, you get amazing definition, and it's not gonna take you as long to detangle your hair. Number two, no shampoo. She says in the book, you can literally just throw out your shampoo. You don't need it. And what she's getting at is these sulfates in shampoo. If you go to your bathroom right now and you grab your shampoo, is the word sulfate anywhere in the ingredients list? If it is, you are using a shampoo that has very harsh detergents in it that are stripping the natural oils from your hair. So I definitely understand having curly hair, that you want to do as much as you can to keep that moisture in your hair. Our hair is just naturally dry. It takes longer for the natural oils to get down to our ends because it has to go through the spirals of our hair. So If we use a sulfate in our shampoo, that is just going to strip the natural oils from our hair, and it's going to take longer for us to put the moisture back in because we're literally stripping the moisture from our hair that we took so much time to put into it. So yes, if you're using a sulfate in your shampoo, I would say I do use some shampoos with sulfates in it only when I feel like I need a really good cleansing in my hair. Sometimes my scalp will get really itchy and dry and I'll start getting kind of flakies on my shoulder. That's when I know that I probably need to use a good sulfate shampoo. Now, the shampoos that I choose don't have the harshest sulfates in it. So when I choose to use a sulfate in my shampoo, I use the Suave Daily Clarifying. It has a really good hard water buildup remover in it, and that also helps kind of strip my hair of the buildup that might be on my hair and on my scalp from the water that we have. I also use the Live Clean apple cider vinegar detox shampoo. That is also a really good shampoo. It doesn't have a crazy harsh sulfate in it, but it really does help kind of give my hair life, and it does get rid of the buildup from the water and the natural environment things that can go on. When we talk about buildup, I bet you're wondering what in the world is buildup. If you have no idea what that is okay, because I didn't know what it was. Buildup is essentially coatings that go on your hair. It can be from a number of things, but a lot of the buildup that you might have on your hair is probably from silicones or emollients, which is a silicone. Let's say if you completely gotten rid of your shampoo and you need to wash your hair and you're using a conditioner, but you're also using natural emollients, which those are a thing. You can find those with oils and butters. So like coconut oil and shea butter, those are two really good natural emollients that can cause buildup over time. So the reason why I don't follow this strict no shampoo, only co-washing rule, because if you're using the natural emollients on your hair, those can cause buildup over time. And then if you're washing your hair with conditioner and then you're adding conditioner on your ends and then you're going in with all of your styling products and then you're adding on those natural emollients, that's just causing a ton of buildup that is not getting washed away from the shampoo because you're not using shampoo. It's just a crazy mess that you could be experiencing if you feel like your hair is dull, if it's weighed down, if your curl pattern isn't quite what it used to be. You might need to use a good clarifying shampoo. And there are really good clarifying shampoos out there that don't have sulfates in it. So it's really just your preference. I find that I can get a pretty good clean with a sulfate-free shampoo, but sometimes I just need the little extra strength with a sulfate. So another thing that she says is that you cannot use heat on your hair. You need to get rid of your straightener, your blow dryer, your curling iron, all of those things. Get rid of it. And I agree, except the blow dryer part. Keep that because you might need that. I agree. If you are wanting to go curly, if you're wanting to get your natural curl pattern back and help your hair get that muscle memory of how your curls should be, yes, do not use a straightener. Do not blow dry your hair straight. Do not curl your hair with a curling iron, because even though you might be kind of going the way your natural hair would curl, you're still kind of erasing that muscle memory that you have taken so much time to put in. When she says no heat, she also means no heat while diffusing. And while a lot of people would say, yes, do not use any heat when you're diffusing, that kind of varies person to person. So if you have time to air dry your hair every single time you wash it, if you have time to sit there for an hour and a half while you are diffusing your hair on low speed, low heat, by all means, do it. But if you don't have time, if you like diffusing your hair, if you like the volume and the definition that you get from diffusing your hair, then girl, diffuse your hair, because I do. That's how I dry my hair. So I have watched Mains by Mel, and she kind of has created this whole hover diffusing technique that is super big on her channel that a ton of other curly girl influencers have started doing. So essentially what you're doing with the hover diffusing technique is you're just hovering your diffuser over your roots, and you're flipping your hair to one side or the other to help create that volume. So you're not going directly in with high heat, high speed from your ends and smushing it all up to your scalp, because when you do that, our ends are already naturally dry, and so if you put a ton of heat on your ends, it's just going to dry them out more. And so one thing that Mel suggests is doing the hover diffusing technique, hovering over your ends. That's what I do, and it has worked so well. I get a ton of volume. My hair, my curls don't do that weird like crunchy thing where they look like they're just like in a ball, because I went from my ends all the way up to my scalp. If you are really concerned about heat damage, definitely invest in a good heat protectant before you put your products in. I have started doing that just to get that extra protection from me diffusing. But other than that, diffusing your hair is nothing even close to straightening your hair or blow drying your hair straight. The last thing I'm going to talk about is the regular trimming and cutting your hair that Lorraine Massey suggests. And I know a lot of other people suggest this as well, but this is something that I don't do. I don't cut my hair. I don't desire to cut my hair. I have seen my hair transform into its natural curl. It's probably not as curly as it is going to be, but my hair has totally changed since doing this modified curly girl method, and I haven't had the big chop. I have no desire to do the big chop. So it is absolutely possible for you to get your curl pattern back without cutting your hair. It's going to take more time, because if you have damage and heat damage and split ends and things like that, it's going to take your hair a little bit longer to get into the routine of curling up again, but it is absolutely possible. Just because you have split ends does not mean that those ends can't curl. Because my split ends are very curly, and it is amazing. That is basically all of the curly girl rules that they line out in the book. Again, I will have this book linked in the description box below if you want it. I will say though that in my opinion, it's only like $8. If you want to go get it on Amazon, go get it. But I think that you guys would be much better off by just watching YouTube videos because there's so much more information on YouTube that you can find rather than in here. If you watch Bianca Renee today's video on why she doesn't follow the curly girl method, she also addresses that in her video, that there's really not a ton of information on here. It's just a bunch of rules that like you can't do certain things, but there's no like real explanation why, and there's no list of what to watch out for in your shampoos and conditioners and styling products. So, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love making videos like this. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comment section below. I do read all of your comments and I do answer all of your comments. So let me know, and I hope you guys have an amazing weekend, and I will be seeing you in the next video.